Welcome to today's section again, where we are streaming from Mobile Web Ghana today, which is African Digital Conference. My name is Stephen Mawutor Donkor. I'll be making a presentation, or I'll be taking you through the procedures to develop the first website without coding. Like I started from the room, one of the things as I said is we've all been wanting to be able to create website for either our businesses or whatever activities we are doing, but sometimes because of costs, we are not able to do same. But today I bring to your doorstep some of the tricks as it is, or techniques as it is, you're able to develop or help you develop that first website as it is you've always been wanting to develop for your company, either because you've not been able to do the same due to the fact that you didn't have enough money. But today you'll be able to do that all by yourself if only you follow diligently what it is I am teaching today. So today I'll be making all my presentation from a website called adsc20.stepdoc.com. All the resources as it is I'm going to use today will actually be on that website. And so as it is, I'm giving the brief intro on what it is we are doing today. Can you just move into your browser if you're connected on the machine, or even if you're on a mobile device, to the URL adsc20.stepdoc.com, where I'll be making the presentation today. So you're welcome once again, and good afternoon from Ghana, good morning, good evening from wherever it is you are connecting from. I'll be your facilitator today. My name is Mawutor, as I prefer to be called. So like I said, to be able to enter my digital space as it is on my room, where it is I'm presenting from today, just enter into your browser, adsc20.stepdoc.com, and you actually be able to see what it is I am presenting from. So yesterday, as it is, we had the first section on how to develop that first website you've always been craving or yearning for. We're able to put this websites together, and I'll be able to enter it or teach you how to actually follow all the steps to be able to have the website as it is we currently have. So by the end of this section, in about an hour or less than an hour, you should be able to build any website or any website as it is you actually wish to have for yourself. So today I'm going to take you through some basic things to enable all of us, because all the days are actually learning process for each and every one of us. First of all, if you have already visited the page as it is I am showing, because when you enter that page, you actually see what it is I am currently seeing now. So I'm going to scroll down, and then we kickstart all that it is we are having today. Voila. And so all the fun we're going to have today is actually going to happen on this page. We'll move at certain points out of the page to be able to show us how to be able to get all these beautiful things or interfaces it is we have. Before I scroll down to show us what it is we have beneath, I started earlier, or even yesterday, to say that for every website as it is we have, or every website as it is we visit, actually has a format that actually it follows. For every format, as we were taught in school, has a particular format, even if it was a letter as it is we were writing, that it follows. For that format letter as it is we would have a header, we have a title, we would have the body, we have the salutation and the footer. Every website as it is you also have that you visit also follows that same particular format. If you take a website as it is we have now, and I scroll all the way down, all as it is you are seeing at the bottommost portion of this website is actually the footer, and the footer actually can have a small logo depending on the website activities you are building. It will have the copyright, inscriptions, it will have your social media handles. You could leave certain information, either your contact, your company, whoever developed the website. You have all those information embedded at the footer section. The header, as we have at the right and the downmost bottom of the website, also, which is the header. The header is also the topmost portion of the website. In the header section, as it is, we may see we are having for this website, we are having the logo of the company, which I use is Mobile Web Ghana, and for the purpose of this training. That is not my logo, it's just a logo for the institution that's actually hosting the conference. I also have the social media handles that are actually showing on the rightmost part of my screen. When we scroll down, we also see certain items that are actually within the website, which we can actually refer to as the body of the website. If it was that letter as it is we were writing, this will actually be the body of the website, or the letter as it is we were writing. A letter may also have what it is we call the title. So do a website also have same. So for this website, the title of this website can actually be found in the tab or the topmost section of the browser. So if you look at the extreme left corner, where we actually have the tab, you realize there's actually a small, we call it an icon and a name. And so the name actually, which you see, which is ADSC 2020, is actually the title of this website. This title can actually change to anything. It can be the name of the company or the business as it is you are running. It can actually be your personal name if it's your profile, a profile for yourself, or anything as
Danny.
it is you can ever imagine. Okay, so before we move ahead to the next stage, if there's any comment anybody wants to be able to share, can you please leave your comments as it is we go. So if there are any comments that needs to be shared, please use the chat room. Hello, I hear some people saying they can see me. Can you please confirm before we actually goes into the nitty-gritties of what it is we are doing today? Can everybody see and hear me? Actually, the websites we have, if you scroll down to the section where I have the current name being Mawutor, I want to take to them. I'll be using two things to be able to teach us what it is you need to be able to achieve as being able to have the websites for today. So one, I'll be using a basic text editor. I'm not going to use any special tools or an online tool. Everything you're going to do is going to be offline. All the magic is going to happen on your machine. You don't even need internet to be able to do what it is you want to be able to do. I also show us how to be able to get those templates, which I'm going to use today to demonstrate to us. So if you go to everything I use for today, there are two main things as it is I use, which is the text editor. I'm using Sublime for this section. There are other editors as well. You can have Atom, you can have brackets, just name them, not what not of you. I also used a template. So the website as it is you are seeing from top to bottom is actually a template. Somebody had already pre-coded or pre-designed this format for us to be able to, thanks to whoever did this development. There are more than tens of millions of similar websites that are actually lying on the internet. You just have to know where to find them, be able to download them and edit them to suit whatever it is you want to be able to do at no cost. If you want to be able to find some of the places to download those free templates, I've also shared some of the places to go to. You see I've listed just 4 of them at the middle parts where to go. If you click on any of the links, which I'm going to also demonstrate to you, it will take you to the 4 websites that I've actually embedded on the site. When you go to any of the site, I'm just going to use this one for demonstration purposes and to be able to save us time. You can just click on free templates. Some websites will enable you or allow you to be able to type the kind of website as it is you are looking for, which I'm not going to take us all through that. When you visit any of those sites, you can actually explore various categories of sites, whether it's for e-commerce, whether it's a personal profile, whether it's a company profile, whether the company is techie, whether it's agriculture. There are vast templates as it is you can actually find online. For this, I'm just going to click on the first one. But every template as it is you see, first and foremost, you just don't download them for downloading purposes. You want to be able to see how the website really looks like. If it fits the business as it is you want to be able to do, then you can go ahead and then download them. So for this, I'm just going to choose the first one as it is we have here. Okay, so these are some of the details the developer actually has given. And we can just scroll down and then click on preview. Some sites will say demo. Any of them actually gives you an overview or an eye into how the website template as it is they are showing to you really looks like. So we are waiting for the template to fully load. Okay, voila. So for a template as it is, I picked, this is how it looks like. It has the home button, it has category. You can choose any of the categories based on what functionalities or how the person designed it. You can see as it is, it has in here. It gives you the opportunity to be able to explore the entire site as if though that was the final site as it is you want to be able to do. So what it is you do is that you look through all that it is you're looking for. Does it actually really suit what it is you want to be able to do? If it is indeed suits what it is you want to be able to do, then you can now go ahead and then download the site. So if you see for this, the footer section is different from what it is I have because it's what it is that the developer chose to do. I picked a simple one, so we didn't not needed to like waste so much time in showing or being able to edit what it is we want to be able to do today. But whatever trick I'm going to show or procedures as it is I'm going to introduce you to today would actually apply to any of the templates as it is you might pick online. And so for this, if you are now convinced this is the website you want to be able to use, all you need to do will be to hit the details or download option that takes you back to the download page. And you hit the download button, and then the site gets downloaded. Okay. So if you are following me, one of the things as it is, like I said, I'm using two things. I'm just going to give us some few seconds, about 10 seconds to be able to download the text editor and the templates. So in 10 seconds, then we'll move to my downloaded folder, which I've already downloaded just to save time. The text editor and the templates are not heavy files. They are pretty slow. Some websites might be a little heavy, depending on what it is the website actually really does for. But for these purposes, the templates and the text editor are pretty lighter. That's why I chose this. Okay, now that our 10 seconds is up, I'm just going to move directly to the folder which I have already downloaded. I didn't show us how to edit the sites to see what it is we have currently. So if you hit that download template URL that I have embedded on the site, you would have downloaded a folder or a zip file like this onto your device, whichever device on which you are connected on. It doesn't really matter whether a Mac or Windows or an open source Ubuntu or whichever of the flavors as it is you are using. This would be what it is you see. All you need to do is to unzip the file. So I'm just going to go ahead and then unzip my file. So when you unzip your file that it is you've downloaded, you are going to find this on your machine now. So I'll just go ahead and then open Sing. For what it is we are going to do today, I'm just going to teach us two things actually we're going to pay attention to, which is going to be the index.html file, the index.html file, and the images folder. So these two items actually we see in the folder as we've extracted are going to be the basis of or the magic as we are going to do today. If you pick the website, all these images or beautiful images as it is you see on the website, whether it's the one in the background or the one actually we have in the slider, are all in the images folder. And so for any image that actually you see happening on the website would actually be in the image folder. I said in my earlier submission that about 95% most of the times, any template as it is you download from the internet or from anywhere as it is, you might find same. All the images that are used on that website will be found in the images folder when you actually extract the file out. And so for today, I'm just going to dump straight into the image folder. If I click, you see images and them being labeled. So for this, you see the logo, the info page, the home page, which are all images as it is you see. If I go into the slider, I see 3 images that are actually embedded there. I'll go one step back into the folder. And again, every text that we see on the site, from the logo, the Facebook or the Twitter icons, the timer, the name, any other details you're actually seeing on this website, it's actually controlled by the index.html file. All the text as it is, company as it is, you are seeing all the codes that actually control the resources or anything that is actually happening on this website can actually be found in the index.html file. So now that you've downloaded and installed the Sublime, I'm hoping so. All we do is that we'll open this index.html file with the text editor as it is I've asked to be downloaded, which I've already downloaded and installed. So I already have Sublime installed on my device. If it works on Windows or Mac, you can actually use same. Sublime also works on Linux. If you just have to find your source codes and be able to run same. So for this, I'm going to use Sublime Editor. So I right click on the file and I go to open with. I go to Sublime. So if you open the text.index file, these are all the codes that is actually doing about 98% of the magic that is actually really happening, because there are other folders or functions that actually help some of the things to actually really happen. But all the text as it is we see actually happens from here. If any of the functions actually even needs to happen there, those functions are being called by certain codes from the index.html file. As it is we see from top to bottom, as I'm scrolling, these are all the codes that has actually been written by someone that actually control the website that we are seeing. So, but it doesn't end that this. I used right click to click on the file, and then I open with Sublime. There is also the left click option. So when we double click on the index.html file, it will actually open the website that it controls. Because I have not yet edited this version, because it was as if though we are now building whatever it is I am showing to you on the URL from scratch. This is how it is you're going to see is if you actually double click the index file. And so as it is, you see, you realize that the images are different from what it is I have already hosted, what we are seeing. If you see the main page or the body of that website as we currently have. And actually, this is actually running local. What I mean local is that it's running from my machine. So if you had also downloaded that template folder that I have embedded on the website, and then you extracted the files, and then you went into the folder and clicked the index file, this is what it is you will be seeing. If you're not seeing, so can you please let us know in the chat column so that we'll be able to assist or address any of those questions. One of the things
it's opening, but I can only see like the how do you call it? Like the basic version, no images, it's just the text.
So what did you open with? How did you open it? What browser are you using?
Chrome.
Can you just, it means that you have not extracted the file. What you have actually done is that you only click setting, I guess you're working from a Windows.
Yes, I am.
Okay, so I guess what it is you did was to just click on the zip file. When you click on the zip file, what happens is that you see all the components in the zip file, but you have not actually extracted the components in the zip file. So even though it is enabling you to see what code that actually runs, but it's not free because some of the other things actually have been compressed. So if you're using Windows, you right click on the zip file as it is you've downloaded. You see the extract option, extract. So click on extract it to extract that folder now onto your machine. When you now click on the index file, you'll be able to see whatever it is I am seeing on my screen.
Okay, I've
So
done that.
you've done that. It works now.
Yes, it works now. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Okay. So now that his works as it is, he's saying if you are facing similar problem, just make sure that you have actually extracted the folder from the zip file so that you don't face the same problem as it is he just faced. Okay, so going forward, the first thing as it is I'm going to show us is how to change this beautiful image into a different image as it is we have now. So I'm going to go back to that folder. So I'll close all this so that we don't get confused. I'll close this as well. Okay, so like I said, we are just going to work with just these two folders. Okay, so if I open the image folder, like I said, all the images on the website are actually here. So we'll notice that there's actually a slider. What I mean by a slider is that we will notice that there are about 3 images that are actually changing based on the timing that the template has actually been set. You notice that it has changed. So after every random time, the image actually flashes. That's just what it is we call the slider. So if we go into the slider folder, we'll notice that there are 3 images that are actually just showing there's somebody underwater. There is a forest, if I'm not wrong, and then there's also a portion of a road that has actually been shot. So just to confirm, if I go back to the index file, we'll notice that those are just the images as it is you are seeing. But now this is the trick. So we go to the index file, slides. So now we want to be able to change these 3 images as it is we have here. The first thing as it is you want to notice, because we are not going to touch any of the codes, but just be able to edit and then replace the images as if though as it is and the site already have. So we just need to be able to follow the standards. If we do not get something right, it might not affect us. It is we might want. So if we look at this image has an extension called .jpg. .jpg or extensions are just the formats to which a file or an image or something can really operate. For this file or for this image file, they have an extension .jpg. If we take an image file, we can most of the time have them in 3 formats. One, you can have them in the .jpg. I think let me just go to the page so that we see what it is I'm talking about. So we can have files in this format. This is one. We can have another one, this JPEG, what we call JPEG. And there can also be a different one called, okay. So if you pick any or most images, they might actually come in these 3 extensions. In editing this as well, we will have to pay attention to the extensions that we actually have in the folders. If the image has an extension .jpg, you want to make sure that whatever image you are replacing there has the same extension. Because if the extension is .png and you have a .jpg image file and you place that same image there, it will not respond. There's a different way to correct that from the code. Maybe when I'm going forward, I might be able, if we have some more time on our hand, I'll be able to illustrate how to be able to do that and not mind the extensions. Okay, so now these are .jpg. So I already have images that are in that format, so that we don't waste our time. I've already done 3 images already, so I'm just going to move them into that same folder. Okay, so I have my three images, one called Steve, one called Group, one called Kisu. But above, we see we have three images, 01, 02, 03. So what I'm going to do is that I'm just going to change one of them. Let me pick this, and then just, so what I'm going to do going forward will be that I'm just going to rename the images that I've actually brought in to suit what already existed. So I'm just going to delete one. No, let me delete 3, 03, and then just change any of the images I've brought. It doesn't really matter, to the same format. So I'll go back to the file and then just double click on the index file and then see what happens. So you notice that the image as it is I replaced just one, had actually appeared, but I still have 2 of the images which are unchanged. But just because I have just renamed that picture. So currently we have 2 images that are unchanged, but we have one that is actually plain because I have actually renamed same. So I'm going to go back and just rename the other 2 images. So I'll delete the other images. You can have 2 names in the same folder. So most of the times I just delete them, but you just have to make sure that you take a good notice of what the names are. Okay, since I've rechanged this again, so this is 03. It doesn't really matter any of the others. You change them from. I'll go back to my index file and just double click on same. Now, what it is you notice is that all the images have actually really changed now, and they are looking beautifully, smiling at me based on the images as it is you have my show. One other thing as it is you should also bear in mind when building websites is that the quality of images that is used on a website also affects the beauty of the site's impression or how it comes out. If for this purpose, but you can experiment yourself, you can experiment with different quality of images. If I use a different image that didn't have the right resolution or right beautiful context, you realize that it might not really give a good impression as it is you might be able to see. So one of the things that is you should bear in mind is that you should always have good quality images going forward when you are building your website. So now I've shown you, or I've been able to illustrate how to change that image that you might really have. It will apply to any of the images that's actually on the website. It doesn't really matter where the image is. You just have to make sure that you pick the same name, the same image extension, change the names, and then you are good to go. The next thing I said is I'm going to teach would be to how to change the text in this column. Okay, so now to be able to change the text, what we need to do will be now to open the codes in the index file. So we will right click, like I said earlier, and then we go to sublime.txt. I'll go into a full screen mode. And like what I said, this developer actually did a good documentation. You can actually follow all the codes. You don't need to be a code person to truly understand all that it is that happens on the page. Every page has actually been named and titled based on what it is that is happening. And so if you read critically, you notice that where my mouse is, you realize that, like I said, we follow the format or the format of how letters are written. You notice that there's a section called the head. Like I said, if you scroll gently, all you need to do is just read critically. Okay, as it is, you are moving down. If you go, we see we have the header, which most cases letters have. We have the home. There is an information bit. Like you realize that the website has actually been categorized in different stages. If you go down to, like I said, all the way down, you realize that we have the footer, as it is this developer has actually really put it. And then all the things that the footer actually contains, this is where it is, or the codes that are actually controlling them from. So let's go, we'll go to the head and be able to edit them gradually as it is we go. So if you go to the head, like I said, if you pick the website, so I'm just going to double click. So the head as it is you are seeing will be this portion of the website. So the head of the of this website actually will contain the title. And the title of this website now is the name as it is we are having here. I'm going to change this name to my name, Mawutor, or anything as it is we want to be able to change it to. You can write anything as it is you want to be able to write it, or probably I'll just change it to my company name, Steve Doc, so that it is we see it doesn't match with what it is I've already hosted. So this is my code. If I go to the head, if I just read gently, just don't need to be in a rush, you realize that there's a portion called title. Title. You also notice that to run them alongside. What it is I have in the title, okay, the same name I have in the title is what it is we have up here, where my mouse is actually really hovering around. All we need to do will just be to change that. Just don't touch anything you don't know. So I'm just going to type in Mawutor from where it is. That's all you need to do. And then we'll go to save, Control S, or go to File, go to the Saves option. And if I go back to the page and then I refreshed, I'll notice that the name as it is I have actually changed to Mawutor. I can go back and do it as many times as it is I want to do it. It's a happy day. I save it, go to File, go to Save. If I refresh, I'll say it's a happy day. So this doesn't matter what it is you put in that section. All you just need to know is that look at what had already existed, just delete that text that currently exists, and just put whatever it is you want to be able to put there. So I put my company name in there, I save, I refresh, we notice that it is changed. And so that is a trick we are going to use for the entire page. So going forward, like I said, I'm going to teach how to change the text, this text on the page. So if we go, I'll just skip the header section, which contains the logo and the social media handles. I'll come back to it in a brief, so that we just know how to change the text component before I come back to the logo section. So I'm just going to skip the header section. So the header section contains the logo and any social media handle. Some of them might have menus where you can actually have either home, about us. That can actually just be in the header section. So I'm just going to skip the header section and then go to the home bit. So the home actually contains where we have the timer that is doing the countdown and the write-up. Because when you visit any website, the first thing as it is you see we call is the home page. So in the home, we'll notice that we have our site is launching soon. And if you read critically, you will find our site is launching soon in here. So what do? All we need to do is just go to the end of that sentence, delete everything we have there carefully. You don't need to touch any of the quotes, and then just write anything as it is we want to write. This is my first time building a site. Okay. We also have a text beneath. Okay. So this is the end of the text. You can just drag your mouse over it, delete, and just type. Happy I can do all this on my own. Okay, so if I save, I go back, I refresh. You notice that all that it is I have actually really typed has actually taken effect. This is my first time building a site. It has happened. I also write, I'm happy I can do all this on my own. That has also happened. So that's as it is I had said. If you go beneath, whether it's this text or this text that it is you want to be able to change, it's just the same format. So I'm just going to scroll down. And even if you're not conversant with how to, how would I call it? If you're not conversant even how to find the things, all this you need to be able to also do When the first time I see this, I was introducing this to a friend. The trick I noticed she uses that she didn't actually really worry her head where the header or she looked at the sample of the website, look at what if it's full responsive. She just go all the way, just scrolls gradually. She just goes down gradually until she find fully responsive. Then she knows that this is where I need to change it. So I just put Mawutor there. If I save and I refresh, you notice that Mawutor comes. So this is just a trick you use to be able to change any of the text components that as you have currently on the page. So I'm going to show another code. Like I said, we're not going to write any code, but there's just one thing. I'm sorry if you feel otherwise, but it's not anything to find difficulties in remembering. So I want to show two ways as it is we'll be able to delete anything as it is we do not want. So I'd want to take out the top three sections, which I do not want. So the top three now has Mawutor, retina, ready, stylish design. So if you see, you realize that it has Mawutor, retina display, and then stylish design. Okay, this is all we need to do. Just go all the way and find where Mawutor starts from. So we'll notice that for one moment, for this, Mawutor starts from here. And then if you go all the way, okay, it goes all the way down to stylish design. Or even if you choose that we want to be able to just delete this portion out, one person will say, why don't you just delete the codes? What will happen is that you may never know, you may want to use that code back. And for you to be able to delete a portion of a code, this is all the code as it is. I don't want to call it code, but this is what you do too. So I'll do another page. So to delete anything where we don't want to actually have it deleted, but just let it there but not be able to function again, this is all we need to be able to write. So less than, exclamation, the minus, then the text, whatever that we are deleting will be in the space, and then minus again, then the greater than sign. And so everything as it is, we need to be able to delete just has to be or comment out, which is the right wording they use, will actually just be in this spacing. So I'll go back to the code to illustrate that. So if I come here and let's say you want to take the stylish design out, okay, this is where this starts. So all I need to do is write less than, exclamation, minus space. One of the things you notice as well is that anything that concerns this goes gray. By just me typing less than, exclamation, minus, everything that concerns this goes gray. But we would want to also stop this at a point. Like I said, we want to just comment just a portion of that app. So we'll come, because this is the end of where this started, we'll just come and do minus again, and then greater than. What you notice is that a color here has changed. Why I would say you need to have those two things done is that for certain codes, what happened is that they do not have the codes written in a particular format. So when immediately you enter the less than, exclamation, minus, anything that comes beneath that might actually go gray if you actually don't stop it at a point. So for this, I'm just deleting or commenting out, which I said is the right wording to use just one portion. So I just do a control save and then refresh. What you notice is that the text component, like I said, is commented out. But you also notice that the icon that actually being used against the text also still remain. I did that intentionally so that you are able to see some of the things that actually also affect what it is we are looking for. So if you notice that, okay, that is not the rightful place that item is, what do we need to know? We'll notice that all that icons that you're having, like I'm saying, they have names. So you realize that it has icon, pencil, ruler, which is what it is that currently has. The next one is the eye. I'm sure this is a phone. So if you look critically, I went down and I said icon, you see objects. You see icon, eye, and then icon, mobile phone, like I said. So if we've figured that what it is we've commented out is not enough, we can just go back and then delete this. And then go, even let's put it here, just by where the thing is. And then save again. Oh, have I done? Save. And then I refresh. You need to notice that it's entirely now gone off. So that would mean that I can actually do same to actually comment all of this out. So if I go up, so I can start from here. Let's done comes in dash dash. Let's still follow the instructions and just do that. The next one will be minus. Goes all the way to. So I just save. So I have mixed something. So if you mistakenly do something, all you need to do is just revert what it is you did. So I think I've touched a different code. I've touched a code I needed not to touch. Okay, I've cleaned the other one. Which, sorry. So the beauty of this will be that what it is you are doing gives you the option of now knowing, okay, I've done this mistake. Let me just revert what it is I did. But the more as it is you play with what it is you are doing. Okay. Okay. So I was commenting to the wrong direction. So let's say I want to do this. I'll just put it here. See what goes off. Yep. So that's it. So I can take all the rest off. So it should be here. Yes, there we go. So this, I think I may have mistaken. Okay. So not to bore us too much code. Even though I would understand where some of the mistakes are coming from, I don't want us to go into all those technicalities, not to waste so much time against it. Okay, so you notice that I've commented or what it is was beneath out. So I'm just going to bring what it is that was here back. So I think it's just going to be, so this is what the problem is. Yep. Okay. So if you've seen, I've been able to comment out 3 of these options as it is we actually really have. Any of the processes that I use to either changing the text applies to the entire page, irrespective of where it is you are. If it's the contact page or the subscribe page, you just have to just go all the way, look for where the contact page is. So you write contact information pages, and there's a submit. If I change it to, again, my name, Mawutor, and save, we will notice that on the contact page, you'll notice that the submit button that actually submit has actually also changed too. So whether it's the text in the gray area or anything as it is we have here, anything as it is we change from the main codes will actually also affect. One of the things as it is you should also bear in mind is that whilst you are editing, sometimes when you are either trying to input for Sublime, what happens is that it gives a good color code or grading system that easily lets you know when you are making a mistake. And so for this, you will notice that the text that I needed to change for just the submit button actually is in white. So in most cases, all the texts that are changeable would be in white for how Sublime has actually done the presentation. But while as it is like we are human and you are trying to edit the codes and then you mistakenly touch any of the codes, what you also notice is that either the text you were attempting to change might also change the color. So if I mistakenly deleted the greater than sign, you will notice that the amount that was originally in white had changed into green. That should also be a prompt to tell you that, oh no, it looks like I am doing the wrong thing. You can just quickly do a Control-Z to undo the procedure. But the most importantly, what you want to be able to do is that you can only get perfect through practice, like it's always said. So break some codes, you make some few mistakes, but out of those mistakes, you also be able to learn how to now go around all these codes in less than an hour. If I was doing this alone, I could have done this in 30 to 45 minutes. I will actually be able to put the entire app, editing it from actually head to toe, everything as it is I need to be able to do. And this can actually also be a medium for you to be able to start your own business as a web developer in a junior position. So now that I have shown us how to now do or change the text, like I said, all the text you have on the page, you need that same format to be able to change them. It doesn't really change. So the next thing as it is I'm going to show us will be how to now change the logo on the page, which is actually in the header. And then the Facebook sections. Currently, as it stands now, if I click on any of them, you realize that no action really happens because we do not have links that tells it to go where it needs to be able to go. So what we need to be able to do right now will be that I'll show us how to get the usernames of our various accounts and be able to how to really find where to actually place or replace those codes to make them functional. Even though this is local, because there's internet connected to the machine. When I now edit the Facebook or the social media icon or links, and when I click on them, it should be able to take me to the various places. So I'm going to show you how to just find and edit one of the icons, and also show you how to delete or comment any of them out. So I'll go back to the codes as it is we were having. So I go back. I think I mistakenly just closed this as it is we were doing. So I'm going to affect the changes in the header section, which contains the logo and also the social media icons. I'm going to delete or comment out, like I've already taught in the text section. It also applies same to the icons. As it is, we have, if maybe you do not have any social handles to be able to use, you can actually comment the entire thing out. But if you have some of them to be able to demonstrate on the side, I'm going to show us how to do that. So, like I said, the website actually comes in a format. We have the head, we have the header. Like I said, what it is we want to be able to change is in the header section. So if you come to the header, like I have here, you notice that they have written a class called social media links. If you go down a little bit further, you see we have Facebook, we have Twitter, we have Pinterest, we have Instagram, we have Dribble. Go there as well. Those are the same things as it is we have. There are 5 social media icons. I'm going to comment 3 out as it is I have on the hosted website, and then also show how to edit the usernames or the accounts for the 2. Whatever I do will actually apply for the rest. So I want to keep Facebook and then Twitter. So if we come, like we see, we have Facebook, we have Twitter, we have Pinterest, we have Instagram. But because I want to comment Pinterest, Instagram, and Dribble out, I'm just going to go through the line for Pinterest and then come to the beginning of that line. And then, like I said, is the less than, greater, exclamation, the minus space. So what you've noticed this time is that anything that fell below has actually commented out. But what if we wanted to just comment Pinterest out? That would mean that we have to close the function as it is we want to be able to do. So I need to be able to bring the minus, and then the greater than sign. So you notice that anything that may have turned gray had actually come back colorful, but only Pinterest had turned gray. So I'm going to save and then now refresh for us to be able to see. I am commenting Pinterest out. So I'm just going to refresh. If I refresh, you realize that we now have just 4 of the icons left. I can go and take the last one out and then just come and put it at the last, or the last section, or where I want it to be commented out, and it's still safe. That one as well also works. So if I refresh, you notice that 2 of them are gone. If you didn't know, what probably you would have done would be to do them one after the other. It will mean that you want to come here. All of them works. As it is, you go along, you would learn how to move a little faster. So you notice if I come to the beginning, less than, exclamation, minus, that goes gray. Less than, exclamation, minus, then I come here. I come to close it. And then I save. That one also would work. You notice I still have just 2 of the icons. So now, how are we able to insert our social media links so that when anybody clicks on this icon, it directs the person directly into your social media icon? One of the things people tend to miss or forget is that they presume the name you have on your social media account is the username. Sorry to be disappointed. Those are not your username for your social media account. Every social media account actually has a unique username, which you can actually find or locate in the settings. My name on social media can be Stephen Donkor, but my username for the account will not be Stephen Donkor. The account name is just Stephen Donkor, but the username is not Stephen Donkor. So for you to be able to find where your username for, let's take, for example, Twitter or Facebook is, you just have to go into your account, log into your account, go into settings. There's a portion on your left where you actually find username. When you click on the username, you actually see the username for that account. So, okay, I can quickly demonstrate that. If we go to, let's say, Facebook, this directly takes me to Facebook. We'll notice that my name for Facebook is Mawutor Donkor, but that is not my account or my username. So like I said, we'll go to account settings, go to settings and privacy on the rightmost corner. Then hit on settings. When you hit on settings, when you go to the general section, you realize that we have username. This can be edited based on the names that are actually already on Twitter, on Facebook. You'll notice that the username for my account for Facebook, it's Steve Dog. It is changeable. Some people might have some numbers and characters combined based on, because they are already existing names that are on on Facebook or that social media account, what happens is that when you create an account on the first or on the go or the first time, what any of the social media account does is that it tries to give you a unique username which nobody else has or nobody else can be able to take. But when you come to this section, you are able to edit it to suit what it is you want to be able to do. Currently, my username is StickDoc. I can decide to change it to any other thing, Stephen Mawutor. It does its random check. If it's available and I save changes, it will now update my username. So if you are having an account for your business or a school or a church or anything, you want to make sure that the name that you want to use that is unique to either the account you are using or the organization you're using, you want to try to enable, like by coming to the settings and changing that to be able to see that. What that does is that when you are doing your social media promotions or directing people to your site, it is easier for them to find you when you tell, okay, my username is maybe Facebook/SteveDoc. And so for this case, you notice that this is my username. So it's actually facebook.com/SteveDoc. That tells you that this is my username. So now that we know how to find and locate the username for Facebook, I'll just go back and then go and enter the username for Facebook. So if you come back into the codes, like we have the social media link, I'm going to do that for Facebook. The place we need to input the username details will be where you have the hash. Okay, I don't know if, one moment. Okay, let me zoom. Sorry, I should have zoomed earlier. Okay. Hope it's clearer now. So sorry, I didn't zoom earlier to make things a little clearer. So if you notice in the social media section, now we are trying to replace the hash button with our social media username. So what it shows at https column / I think www.facebook.com/ then my username. So this is actually my username. So for me as well, if I go to Twitter, my username is actually the same that I use. So I'm just going to enter the same thing www.twitter.com/SteveDoc. Okay, so what we do is we go to File and then Save or Command X. Okay, so when I minimize and I go back to the working folder and I click on the index file. Now, if you can watch a little critical, now because we've left only just 2 icons for demonstration purposes, if I now hover my mouse over any of the icons, you can find at the leftmost bottom corner of my screen where that link is being directed to. So you notice that it is directing me or whoever is hovering that icon to Facebook/SteveDoc, which is my user account. So when I click it, it will take whoever has visited that website and clicking on that icon directly to my accounts. The person is not going to find any difficulty in being able to locate him. If I do same for Twitter, so I spelled Twitter wrongly. So if you notice, I may start 1T. So if I refresh, so let's just go back and click it. If I click it, you notice that it takes me directly to my Facebook handle. Okay, so like I said, most of the process as it is you're going to learn from any of the pages. If there's any other icon for this instance where we have another social media icon at the footer section of the page, It's going to be the same procedure as it is like we've done for the topmost version. You go into the codes, you look for the footer in the course, which definitely will be in the extreme bottom of the page. You find where the social media links are. You replace what it is you have to be able to replace, and then comment or delete what it is you want to be able to correct. The last thing I'm going to teach will be how to replace this logo. If you already have your logo well designed, that fits what it is you want to be able to do. Like I said again, anything as it is you want to be able to. There are certain developers that will have a different how the way I would put it, a different folder for just logos. But when you see the folders, you'll be able to see my title is just logos. You just go into the logos folder and do any changes as it is you want to be able to make them. So if I enter into the folder, you notice that we have footer logo, and then we have logo.png. So if you open the sites, you realize that they have, where is my site? Okay, it should be here. You notice that they have two logos on the page. There is one at the top, and then there is one beneath or in the footer, which they've clearly defined that one is footer logo, and then one is just logo. So I'll change the logo at the top. So I have my logos already prepared before coming. So I have the logo of Mobile Web Ghana, which I'm just going to copy into the folder. I'll copy another one, which is for the event as well into the folder, which are two logos I'm going to use for demonstration purposes. So I'll move those images as well into the image folder because that's where we need them to be. So the first logo we want to change is the logo we have at the top, and that is the logo. If you open it, you can open it to see, you realize that that's the logo we actually have at the top. And like I said, always pay attention to the extension of the image as it is you have. For this as well, you realize that the extension of this image is .png. If I had an image that was .jpg or .jpeg or any other thing, it's not going to work because that is what the code is calling. Because the code actually call unique names as it is they have. The code doesn't know that, oh, because you place a .png for the logo purposes, it's supposed to be able to pick it. You just have to be mindful as it is you are starting. So now that I know that this is called logo, and that's what I want to be able to change, this is the image I want to be able to use for the one at the top. What I'll do is that I can rename if I still want to keep it and not delete it from the folder. So I've named it to logo 2, but I have to name this to what that previous name was. So I just put logo. Okay, so now it's logo. So if I go back into the working folder and I double click on the index file and wait for it to load, we will now notice that we have mobile web logo now appearing instead of the old one as it is we have. It's the same thing for the footer. I'm going to change it to a different logo, which is the logo for the event, like I said, which I've already put in there. So this as well is the set footer -logo. So I just give it a different name. If you're not sure, you can remember what it is, the name, because sometimes some names are really funny. So most of the time, instead of deleting them directly, I first and foremost rename them so that I can actually just keep an eye on same. So this is just footer -logo. That was the original name of this that is done. I don't even need to save anything. If I go back to the index file, I did a refresh. If I go all the way down, you realize that that logo as well have been changed. So if we take this website as it is we have today, we've been able to change all the things that it is you may have to be able to change on the site. I taught you how to change the title of the website, how to replace the logo, how to also replace the social media handles or delete or comment some of the things out. I taught us how to be able to comment out or delete some of the options of the text as it is you don't have. If you if we came here and you came to comment all this session out, what is going to happen is this whole session is going to go off. You're not going to see it again. If you wanted not to have this social media section or in the footer or this part of it again, and we commented this portion out, it's all going to go out. Any other thing as it is we see on the page, all the tricks and ways as it is I've shown you is going to work, whether it's on the subscribe page or on the contact page or on the about page. So the last thing I would do would be to sorry. Right, sorry, keep going. I'm going back to the page we started from. That's where we're going to end. So if we watch critically, everything as it is I had shown or demonstrated, I decided to host this live so that you can always use it as a guide to what it is you are having for today. So you notice that we had spent a little time yesterday to be able to edit all the things as it is we edited that we are having today. You are free to actually connect with us. Like I said, you can click on the connect with us button. It will take you into a group on Telegram. There's always a theme ready. If you click on the connect button, we've already embedded a link there to join. We had created it purposely for this section. We'll be ready for you to support. If there are any further questions as it is you want to be able to ask concerning something as it is you are trying to be able to do or on what it is we've taught you today, we are ever ready to be able to give you that assistance. Thank you so much for taking part in this section and being able to join the African Digital Skills Conference. Thank you for spending all the time to be able to go through my section and be able to learn how to be able to have that website done for yourself or for your business or for anything as it is you want to be able to have it for. Thank you so much. I would leave this here. If you have any comments as it is you want to be able to share, can we please have same going forward. So I'll stop sharing my screen now. I'm open to any questions if you have any.